It happens every summer to countless students. It's called the summer slide, and it means that students lose some of the skills they learned the previous school year. It can be a challenge for teachers who often spend the first few weeks of school getting kids back up to speed. I spoke with reading specialists and second grade teachers at Chapin Street School in Ludlow to learn how to prevent this.
The summer slide is when we see kids regress or not hold on to the concepts that they've learned in the previous year. Typically, we notice that kids who don't read or write or practice their math skills during the summer will come back and they can be behind about 2 months from where they came or from when they left the previous grade. And that causes a little bit of a problem because now coming in, we have to reteach the skills that they may have lost during the summer.
So you have a delay period. So 2 months is a long time. And I can see it happening because you just get busy in the summertime. Oh, we're going to do those math facts, and days go by and all of a sudden you're back to school shopping. But when you're talking about catching kids up in September, is it kind of typical that a lot of kids are in this spot?
It is typical. What we find is we spend the first 4 to 6 weeks actually reviewing the prior grade standards. We need to have that information in order to build upon it in our own grade levels. So again, we end up playing catch up toward the end of the year because we're trying to cover our own curriculum, which is jam-packed, but yet make sure that we leave time, again, that first month and a half to review the skills from the prior grade.
So second grade is kind of a big grade, I would say. So the first graders are coming off, hopefully reading well enough to whatever level. I think they've changed them through the years. It used to be numbers, I think it's letters now. Yes. So if they're not reading between first and second, when you're probably wanting them to be doing some chapter books, right? Magic Tree House, or maybe even something more beginning
to do that.
Then it's kind of a situation, would you say?
It is. Typically, what we find is that they'll come in and we get their scores from June, and we'll test them again at the beginning of the year to see where they are so that we can form our reading groups and do all of that. And we'll notice that we see some regression back 1 or 2 levels. It also comes as a surprise to the parents when we meet with them
yes, it's upsetting and shocking.
In October. Yes, what's going on?
So.
They were at this level and what happened? Well, you know, it might be that they didn't read over the summer. It could be other factors, but we do find that, and it is upsetting to some parents. And it also puts us in a situation where we now have to put them in a different group or get different books that are suitable for their level and really try to catch them up so that we can make it to our end of the year goal and our end of the year level that we want them to be at.
Which is complicated because I know with all of the testing now, you are under certainly a lot of pressure to make sure that you meet those goals. And the kids are, you know, to a large degree, you know, knowing that MCAS or whatever is around the corner. The beginning of the year assessments, I know they're called different things in different schools. I feel like one of them might be the STAR assessment, STAR reading. I feel like that's come home with the kids. That can be hard. As you said, you know, kids would be, you know, a level or 2 behind. So let's say kids didn't read all summer. What are you giving them, let's say August 31st, first day of school, whenever it is, you know, to try to, you know, get them up to speed?
Typically, we spend the first 4 to 6 weeks doing whole group type things, a lot of read alouds. We do break them up into small groups. It's at that time that we meet with our reading interventionists and really try to zero in on those kids that we find might not have the skills necessary to keep up with the rest of the group. So we try to start our guided reading groups off right away. And again, as Nancy mentioned, pick some leveled reading materials and really just try to beef up those skills as much as we can within the beginning so that, as we mentioned, we can progress so that they are reading on grade level before they leave us in June.
Right. So what do parents need to do? And, you know, people are busy, whether they're working or they're full-time, you know, at home with the kids. Life is extremely busy. And those hours go by, I think, faster sometimes in the summer than during the school year. So what do we need to do to make sure our kids are caught up?
Read.
How long? Like when you say read. And are we doing this an hour? I mean, different kinds of books. What do you have to do?
Research shows that children should be reading at least 20 minutes a day. I mean, that doesn't seem like a long time, but just having that ends up being about 2 to 3 hours per week. Making it fun, having the family do it together, coming up with a time where maybe everybody in the family can put the electronics away,
That's another
sit
topic.
down and read together. It could be, the younger kids, you could be reading to them. You're modeling fluency. Talk to them about the story, so that you can see if they're comprehending what you're reading to them. The older kids, they can be reading chapter books, and as a mom, I know I would like to read what my kids are reading, and just so I know if they're understanding what they're reading. That's a really big part of reading, is the comprehension piece. So I think just having that family reading time together is a really huge thing that I think we're losing a little bit nowadays with the electronics and things.
I think the electronics are a big factor, definitely a topic for another day, and I can bring you both back for that.
Sure.
But telling them to put that down and doing the 20 minutes of reading, we're focusing on reading, but math is an issue as well.
Exactly.
Whether you're, the first grader or fifth. There's so many different math facts that I lose because I'm not using them. So what do we have to do for that? Would you say the same amount of time?
I would say 2 to 3 hours a week is what research shows helps to make sure that they keep those skills handy for September. We talked about suggestions in terms of when you're driving on vacation. Maybe you could have the kids, your students, or your children add up the license plate numbers.
Oh, that's hard.
Review.
Wait a minute. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Or even reviewing simple facts, math facts, as you're driving on your trip. And we had talked about having the kids even keep journals about their summer vacations. Usually one of the first things we do in September is say, how did you spend your summer vacation? And just having the kids, if they kept a journal, they would be able to remember some of the fun things
And
they
have
did
the
as
writing
a family.
skills as well, which
Exactly.
I think is probably going to slide a bit because they're not writing, their weekend news
Right.
as an assignment, right? I mean, that seems to be a big one. So especially for the little ones learning, how to spell, that has to be a big one.
Absolutely, and just remembering proper punctuation and beginning sentences with uppercase letters. I think those are all things that they lose a little bit when they haven't been writing a lot all summer. So keeping a summer journal is a great way to keep up the writing skills as well. They could even write about books that they read. They could write a short little summary about their favorite story that they read over the summer or something
Even
to keep
sending
them.
postcards
Yeah.
or writing letters to relatives. We talked a lot about, honestly, on the way here, how much we enjoy audiobooks, listening to stories when you're traveling on vacation.
Right.
That's a great way to talk about what's happened, to stop it at different points and kind of review what's happened in the story or what they think is going to happen, make predictions.
Oh, that's true. And also, you are modeling, again, that fluency piece, which I think can really be challenging for new readers because it's like you're timed, how many words did you read in a minute? And I think that can just cause kids to freeze. I know it's a valuable technique, but the fluency piece is something that I think becomes a big challenge.
Yeah, and having having the kids read books that are a little bit easier for them will help them practice their fluency. Because again, when you're not reading fluent, you're having a hard time remembering what you're reading because you're trying to focus so much in on the words, and that kind of impacts the comprehension when you're not reading fluently. So that's a great thing to do, is to practice easier books, read poems, short little pieces where they can have some repetition that will help them gain fluency as well.